Nick Lanni was born in Cervenara, a small town near Naples, Italy. At the age of 7, Nick's parents Giuseppe and Adolorata emigrated to Niagara Falls, Canada to provide a better life for their family. Having to leave family and friends, accept new customs, and learn a completely different language made life difficult at first, but Nick's parents instilled in him the lessons that would serve him well throughout his lifetime: the importance of family, a spirit of generosity, and a strong work ethic. As a youth, Nick spent most of his free time working, both after school and throughout the summer. As an early entrepreneur at age 11, Nick made pocket money by playing his accordion at tourist attractions in Niagara Falls. Throughout high school and into college, Nick continued to work a variety of jobs in the restaurant and hospitality industry in Niagara Falls and Toronto, putting himself through college. Nick attended Ryerson University in Toronto, where he was voted the student most likely to succeed by professors and peers, graduating with a business degree in hotel, restaurant, and institutional management. Even before graduation, though, he was sought out for the position of general manager of the Great Harbor Key Club in the Bahamas to oversee a large resort development project there. Following that successful endeavor, Nick took a position as executive vice president of a private island in the Bahamas, Cat Key. It was at that very island that Nick met and married his wife, Nancy Wilkes, and they had their first son, Joseph. It was during his time on Cat Key, meeting with many captains of industry and business, that Nick confirmed his desire to become an entrepreneur and work for himself. Chasing that dream, Nick and Nancy left the Bahamas and moved to her hometown of Hamilton, Ohio. Nick began to see an emerging opportunity for fast food at food court developments in the local shopping malls. He decided to enter the quick service restaurant business and designed a baked potato concept called Potato King. In 1980, while establishing his first Potato King restaurant, Nick also served as the owner and manager of Bookbinder's Restaurant in the center of downtown Hamilton. In 1981, he invited his brother Pat to join him as an owner of the newly formed Nicar Corp., which established an office in the Hamilton Center building in downtown Hamilton. It was also at that time that Nick and Nancy welcomed their second son, Jonathan, to the family. Starting in Dayton, Ohio, Nick and his brother Pat expanded upon the Potato King concept and created the first Great Steak and Fry Company, which eventually transitioned into the Great Steak and Potato Company. Beginning with the profits from that first store, they opened more. And by the time they built their 10th corporate location in 1987, they had developed a marketing strategy and systemized the concept to begin franchising. While Pat directed operations, Nick worked at attracting and developing qualified franchisees, financing, and developing relationships with major regional developers, which enabled the concept to grow. Eventually, Great Steak and Potato Company spread into most of the major shopping malls around the country and into multiple airport locations.
When Nick was and entered into any sort of business arrangement, he did his homework, he did his background, he knew what each stakeholder needed, and it was very interesting to watch him work with potential new franchisees, existing franchisees, the legal aspects of franchising, and from that I gleaned a great deal from that experience.
During its rapid expansion years, the company received numerous accolades and awards from restaurant and entrepreneurial magazines. They were named one of the Restaurants and Institutions' top 25 growth companies and one of its top 400 restaurant concepts for numerous years, and were lauded by Entrepreneur, Restaurant and Business, and Restaurant and Institutions magazines. Additionally, Success Magazine featured them as one of the country's best franchises and the number 11 fastest growing chain restaurant in their Gold 100. By 2004, the Great Steak and Potato Company had opened 300 quick service franchise restaurants located in 38 states, Canada, England, Jordan, Kuwait and Egypt, and Puerto Rico. All this came about from the offices and a management staff of 25 headquartered in downtown Hamilton, Ohio.
You know, people, they remember their family vacations and things like that. When we would drive somewhere, say we were going to Pigeon Forge or somewhere like that, he would have his schedule of malls along the way where we would stop, get out of the car, and then he would send in his spies, which were John and I, to, you know, while he'd hide in a food court behind a, you know, a pillar or a trash can or something like that.
We'd be the secret shopper.
He'd say, make sure everyone's hat's on straight, make sure the cooler's stocked, order these 2 sandwiches and bring them back, you know. So we'd go up and, you know, the unsuspecting restaurant workers would just think we were 2 little kids, you know, and here we were checking to make sure their hat was on straight and all this kind of stuff. And, you know.
Along the way, Nick displayed his incredible character as he helped thousands of individuals achieve steady employment, and 150 franchisees realized their dream of owning their own business.
Yeah, I think the key to Nick's success is that he realizes that he can't be successful unless you're successful. He's not in the business of making money off of someone else's hard work. He's in the business of helping you succeed.
He was committed to helping each franchisee become a successful business owner. There's no doubt that many of these individuals probably would not have earned their success without Nick's direct involvement.
He personally mentored and even provided personal loans at times to restaurant operators that he thought were promising, and giving them the opportunity to own their own business and their own franchise.
Although he had planned on continuing to expand the company with his two sons joining him in the business, in 2004, after much consultation with his sons, Nick sold the brand and franchise system to Kahala Corporation. He then focused his energies on managing his real estate holdings in Nixon's Limited and mentoring his two sons, Joseph and Jonathan, who were eager to start up their own restaurant concept.
I feel really privileged to grow up around Dad because he taught us everything we know. So we're sitting in our own restaurant now, but without him, it's certainly, none of this would have happened.
With his encouragement, advice, and business acumen to guide them, the two sons have opened 27 restaurants and developed into accomplished entrepreneurs in their own right. Nick has been extremely generous to both the communities of Hamilton and Key Largo, Florida.
Extremely generous individual. From a philanthropic standpoint, he has generously supported many local organizations such as the Y, Fitness Center, Boys and Girls Club, Junior Achievement, Pyramid Hill, of course, as well as his organizations down in South Florida where he has a residence.
If you know Nick Lanni, he's very deserving of this honor. I would say him that you've earned it, you deserve it, and congratulations.
Nick, thank you for all that you have done for your community. Through your hard work and dedication, you have more than earned the honor granted to you this evening. Welcome Nick Lanni to the Greater Butler County Business Hall of Fame.